Hey everybody, this is the how to win at checkers game. If you want to know how to play checkers, well, watch my other video, which is how to play checkers for beginners. This video is going to take a deeper dive. Assume you already seen the first video or know how to play checkers, and now you're coming to the table because you want to win. I've got tips. Let's get into them. Tip number one. Tip number one is very simple. You want to have more pieces crowned, more pieces kinged than your opponent. By getting one of your pieces to the end and getting them crowned, getting them kinged, whatever you want to call it, they get to go both ways. Hands down, to win at checkers, that is the number one way to guarantee that you have the best advantage to win. Speaking of kinging, one of the ways to prevent your opponent from being kinged is to not move your back row until you need to. By keeping your 4 pieces in your 4 rows, you will never have an opening for your opponent to get kinged. Number 3, if you watched my practice game, what I did is I tried to move pieces in close groups and in tandem so that there was never a piece left open so that it could easily be jumped. So let's take an example here, like on this left here. He can't jump this piece because I've put this piece here. You want to think about keeping pieces in clusters so that they can't jump. Always have pieces backed up. Number 4, when you're ahead, don't be afraid to sacrifice a piece. Trade a checker when you're ahead. And when I say trade, it means in a situation where you're going to be able to jump, but your opponent is going to be able to take you off. That's an even trade. You want to avoid getting into situations where you're losing a piece that's not a trade. Because if you're ahead, if you've got 6 pieces and they've got 4, and you're able to make even trades of 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, pretty soon they're going to have 1 piece and you're still going to be ahead by 2. Always look in terms of even trades. Number 5, control the center of the board. The center of the board gives you the most advantage and it gives you the most leverage in the game. Now, how many pieces do you need to keep into the center of the board? Well, I don't think there's an exact number, but I think what you want to always do is force your opponent to have to kind of move around, to not have as many moves as they'd like. Control the center of the board. If you keep a few pieces towards the center, you keep your options open. Number 6, let's talk about some strategies to capture your opponent's checkers. The first strategy is the force capture. In other words, if you can see an opportunity when you are going to put a piece in the way of your opponent, knowing that they're going to take you off, but you're able to see ahead and you're able to see that as soon as they take you off, you're going to be able to double jump them back, always take advantage of that. Sacrifice that piece to gain the advantage of a double jump later on. I've got this piece here that's open. The last thing I want to do is keep it open. How do I prevent it from being kept open? So I would rather back it up so that the opponent can't. And I always want to think about how do I back up the piece so that my opponent can't get it, or how do I get to take the jump? Whenever an opponent looks like they could capture one of your pieces, always either try to block it or ask yourself, how can I make sure that I get a fair trade and take one of their pieces? Much like chess, it's possible to have specific opening moves sequences to memorize, to set your board up so that in the first 3 moves that you're already feeling that you've got your 3 pieces controlling the center and in safe spaces. So I'm going to just show you the opening moves. Number 1 is I move here, forcing my opponent to move up next to me to threaten me, and then I block it. That right there as an opening move already controls the center and already now puts your opponent in a little bit of a disadvantage. The next rule is to try to control an edge if you can. So in this particular case, all I have to do is move this guy here, and he's holding an edge for me. No one's going to be able to jump him at this point, but he'll be able to jump other people. Ideally, it would be awesome to be able to control this edge too, but this is a 2-checker move, and I run the risk of, if I move this person here, that black will move here, then I'm exposed. And by doing so, I've now controlled this. It allows me to jump in here, and and another example is on this side, because I've controlled that corner, it allows me to jump there. Now at this particular point, I don't want to maybe make those jumps. Practice. And when you practice playing checkers, play against people better than you. Checkers is a game for all ages, but the more you play it, the more you realize, oh, there's a strategy here, and the strategy from smarter players is something that you can learn. You will get better playing up against smarter people. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget that if you want to play me, I have a Patreon page. You sign up for my Patreon page. We get to play one-on-one, loads of fun. And also, I've got so many videos on so many how-to games, simple board games, gambling games, card games, magic tricks, solitaire games, you name it. And I'm adding more all the time. If you got a suggestion on a game you want me to play, let me know. I'm also working on a whole bunch of new videos on more board games and variations of games and so forth. I love doing this. I hope you enjoyed it too. Take care.